She's at a place in her life where peace is a priority and negativity cannot exist. She's no longer matching energy. She's simply removing herself from any situation that doesn't vibrate her soul. So if you start moving funny, she's moving on.
What's up, my Finna love, Sisters Finna D, coming to you all from the Entertainment News.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
Most of you are aware that Kenya Moore will not be returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16. As far as in the future, we don't know, okay? Kenya did post this statement. I did a long video, a little over 30 minutes, so if you missed that video, please click the very first link in the description below to watch that video. But before this statement, I did post that Kenya Moore will not be returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and it was her choice. She wasn't suspended nor fired. Someone allegedly threatened her. The newbie said, "I have a gun for B words like you," during another scene, and she felt like Bravo did not protect her, as you can see from the caption, the statement that she released on the screen. She also confirmed that she did not commit revenge P word. You can read that on the screen. I'm not reading it because I've already covered everything in the previous video that I'm referring to. But I do want to get to the Carlos King and Claudia Jordan content. So you all know the story. I just love to give a backstory and a quick update. So let's go ahead and get into what they had to say about Kenya Moore. Now, I love adding context, so I will be playing how the conversation started that led to them bringing up Kenya Moore. Claudia also talked about her time on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, so I'm going to add that in here as well. Let's get into it.
That's what people don't get about me. I'm big on character. My friend circle is so bomb, and anyone that comes on my trips that I do for my birthday or whatever, they all leave with the same experience. They go, "I love your friends." Because they're not just there for surface reasons. There's girls, when I first moved to LA, I remember I was jogging, right, in this park, and this girl comes up to me, "Oh my God, we should hang out, you're so pretty." Bitch, I could be a serial killer. You only want to hang me because of my outside? And there's a lot of that out here. Well, it's in this business. It's also in Atlanta, it's in Miami, it's everywhere, right? But a lot here. And I've never been that way. Like, my friends, people think I just pick girls because of the way they look, like my friends. It just happened to happen that way.
I have Kenya Moore, a friend.
Yeah, beautiful woman. Cynthia is my friend
Cynthia
as well.
Bailey. I mean, you hang out with some. Speaking of Kenya, have you spoken to Kenya since
Not
everything
yet,
happened?
because I feel like she's probably been bartered right now, but I've been asked about her in all my interviews. I don't really know exactly the details, but I do know that Kenya never lies. So we do know one thing about Kenya, like she can be whatever you want to call her, but you cannot, it always ends up being where, damn, she was kind of right about that. You know, I don't like the inconsistencies with discipline, with some people get away with violent acts and some people get away with this, that, and the third, making accusations like that. You know, there's been a lot of scandal on the show over the years, but then, I don't know, I think this seems a little harsh compared to some of the slaps on the hands that other people have gotten on that show. Would you agree with that?
Well, no, I've spoken to Kenya. I don't want to give anything away because she's released a statement, but she hasn't spoken, and I don't want to speak for her.
It seems like there's more to it than we are hearing.
Oh, for sure.
And that's always
for
the
sure.
case.
But for sure. But what I will say is what you said. Kenya's a lot of things. And whether or not you disagree with her or agree with her, you know, at the end of the day, she's pivotal to that show, and she's amazing at her job. And stay tuned.
Yeah, and it seems like when people have doubted her and criticized her about, like, being messy, I think people think when you're vocal about something that equals being messy. I'm so sick of, I think the word messy
The word messy is so,
that's one of the most overly used, misused words.
It's overused. Telling the truth is not messy. Telling the truth is not messy. Telling the truth is not messy. Showcasing the truth is not messy. Having an honest opinion is not messy. You and I have been friends for a long time. You and I have been very vocal on my podcast about we've disagreed.
Yeah.
We cussed each other out before. I walked out on you and you chased me down. but we found we had a disagreement.
Yeah.
We never talked about it publicly. Like,
No.
F Carlos,
Never.
We dealt with it. We took some time apart, a few months, because, hello.
How can you stay away?
It was never that deep.
No.
But we were able to, like, have honest dialogue. And I feel like what's happening is you can't be honest anymore without being seen as messy or a hater.
Well, people are not good at conflict resolution anymore. I mean, people that just can't take any adversity, anything that makes them uncomfortable. I'm triggered, I'm bullied, Like, how about, listen, there was a time where we were mad at each other at a restaurant. We had a conversation. You didn't like what I said about what I had to say about the show, and you didn't like what I had to say, and I didn't like that you didn't, agree with me. So what? So what? It happens. If you want a friend that agrees with every single thing you say, then that's really not a friend. That's actually a pet. And so I think when you get to a place where you can disagree, and I may not ever agree with what you said, but that's okay. That doesn't mean you throw the whole human away or deem them messy. Or if I like you, I don't call you messy. Ooh, she read her down. But if I hate you or I don't like you, you're just a messy bitch.
Yeah.
It depends on if you like the person, then they use that word. I agree. It's very much overly used. And I think it's ridiculous, and people, you're always in some mess. Well, you're always bringing me in some mess, and I'm always defending myself. How is that messy? I prefer to mind my own business, drink a pina colada, be home, having someone rubbing my legs, and that's it. But y'all keep bringing me in shit. I got to defend myself. Now I'm messy.
Well,
Yes, Claudia, y'all keep bringing me in ish where I got to defend myself. And when I do, now I'm messy. Perfect. Don't come for me unless I send for you. Kenya be minding her business, and these people come on the show, and it's like, go after Kenya more, you're going to get a storyline, And I was just saying this yesterday to a friend. I was like, what are some of these people going to do now that there's no more Kenya Moore story, and it's quiet out here, it's crickets out here. People barely posting about the housewives. It's no longer trendy. Even Portia and Drew had to unfollow each other for people to start talking about the show again. Drew did a mini social media revamp with all new pictures and things like that. And if you pay attention to her post, she's posting a new hair brand. Okay, I'm doing a separate video on that. So people are saying maybe on the business side of things, that's why she and Portia follow each other. And if you all remember, I did cover the whole Dennis and Drew being in the studio together, and it was strictly business. But like I said, I have a separate video coming up about that. I don't care. My point is, after the whole Kenya Moore conversation died down, it was crickets over there. So Portia and Drew was like, quick, let's do something, okay, to get our name back in the press. About us, because we are proving the whole no Kenya, no show point. Those comments I read, because right now no Kenya is really no show because there's crickets out there. Let's do something real quick to get people talking about us again. After I said that, next thing you know, later on today, my DMs is exploding with different things. And from what I read in the fine print is, whether Kenya had a disagreement with a newbie or not, her situation and contract and all of that with Sally's was coming to an end. So a newbie, no newbie, Kenya Moore situation with Sally's was coming to an end anyways. So it had nothing to do with anything that happened on the show. However, you can have a contract coming to an end, and the person, the business organization can be like, we know we said this amount of years, but we are willing and ready to extend or not, okay? So if this is true based on the fine prints that I read, but like I said, I'm going to wait for Kenya Moore to take her time and do what she does best. She's always vindicated, and I'm sure whatever sit-down interview she does, she'll be clearing all of these rumors up. Also, if you're a long-time Kenya Moore supporter, you are aware that unless she's absolutely promoting something, she takes social media breaks. Long breaks, okay? Especially if she's filming or she's working on things behind the scenes. Once the show comes back, she hops on Twitter and other platforms and outlets to promote the show. But for the most part, Kenya Moore takes social media breaks. So if you're not seeing her a lot, even though all of this is going on, this is still how Kenya moves with social media. There are times where I went months without posting about Kenya Moore, and I would come on here and be like, I'm not posting about Kenya Moore because I'm not about to force content. She's not, posting or doing anything. So I'm not about to force content. So you all know that. Also, Kenya always posts in her Instagram story positive messages, affirmations, all of that all the time when she's active. But because of the situation now, every time she posts something, ooh, Kenya with a message. Except for Bravo, when she's always posted that way. So like I said, I'm looking forward to whatever sit down interview or situation she does. Kenya is a boss. She's a businesswoman. So she's making sure she have everything in order. She's going by, her contract and the rules and all of that, making sure what she can talk about and what she can't talk about, because Bravo was at the event. But there are certain footage that's for the show and certain things you can't use. So I'm sure Kenya is making sure she knows, her limits and what she can't, do as far as her contract and all of that. Because that first interview is always the one. That first official interview is always the one. Then after 2 or 3 interviews, the same people who've been doing 2 or 3 to 10 videos about you will be like, oh, this story is old. Can we move on? Oh, because now she's defending herself and she's vindicated. Now you want to move on. But when you were over here making all of these videos, and this is just in general, this is not for anyone specifically, just in general, okay? So I'm sure she's making sure she have everything in order and speaking to her attorneys and all of that before she come out with an official, sit down interview or that statement and all of that. Because so far, still nothing yet from Bravo, no official statement, no confirmation that she did commit revenge P words. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, Claudia Jordan did say some things about her time on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, so I'm going to go ahead and do that in a separate video. And this whole thing about calling people your friend, but when you see that they're going through something, you assume they probably have too much going on right now, so now's not a great time to reach out. So wrong. If you call and they do not answer, you send a text. At least they know you care and you reach out. I heard the same thing. I didn't call her since her divorce announcement yet because I don't want to be seen as, nosy, and I'm only calling about this for other people, not Kenya. I'm just like, if that's your friend, look at Carlos. He picked up the phone and he called Kenya right away. And he said, hey, I'm going to let Kenya tell her story. But he still called. A true friend, you would pick up the phone and call, and your real friend is not going to think you're calling for gossip, you're calling for any of those things, because that's what you do. You call to say hi anyways, but when you do see that something is going on and you're not sure about, you don't even have to get the tea. Hey, just checking on you, and that's it. And that's all they need in that moment. But I know that Claudia means well, and she's going to reach out to her girl, Kenya, and all of that. I'm wishing all of you well, and take care.
We got Kenya and Brooklyn on vacation. Check y'all out. Is that a Brooklyn Bridge behind you?
Wait, mommy. Loves. Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.